Okay, this is Kate from Pittsburgh Music Magazine. I'm here with Mike from DevilDriver. So how are things going for you, this tour?
It's been good. It's been almost 8 weeks, and today is the last show at Mr. Small's in Middlevale.
Pittsburgh.
Yeah, just outside Pittsburgh. You can see Pittsburgh from here, I think. Going home tomorrow.
Yeah.
Stoked.
You're excited about that? That was a question I was going to ask you guys. Like, what kind of things do you do to keep from being totally burnt out from being on tour?
This tour's actually kind of flown by because I have 1 week at home, and then I fly to Florida to go do all the guitars on or my parts anyway, on the new record. And Berkman is actually flying there tomorrow to start drums. So we've actually had a lot to do every day.
Yeah.
The days that we did have, there was a dressing room available for us. You know, I'd be sitting up at my computer and writing solos for the record. All the other parts are pretty much done, but I haven't, the solos aren't all done yet. So that kept me busy.
Just kind of relaxing.
Yeah, that, and kind of when we're on the bus driving, I just keep myself. I've watched so much TV. I've watched like all of Walking Dead. I got into that. I've been watching Dexter. I finished with watching Breaking Bad.
Those are all the shows that I have yet to like tap into. Everyone's like, oh, you know, all these shows are so great, but I just like.
Yeah, I'm trying to look. I don't really watch much TV at home,
Yeah.
but on tour, yeah, I mean, you got something else to do. So
Is it worth it? Are they good?
Let's see. Dexter this season kind of sucks. The last season of Weeds I turned off. It was so bad. Let's see. I watched Shameless. That's a good show. Walking Dead is really awesome. I went on my Facebook page and it was just like, okay, who recommends what? And most people pointed towards The Walking Dead.
Right, I know. It seems like the most popular thing for some reason. I don't know. It's pretty badass. I still have yet to watch an episode though.
Yeah. No Dexter either?
No, I don't know. I don't know.
I was stoked actually. Me and some of my friends, we wrote some music for a music library, and based out of London, I was watching Dexter, and there's a scene where this guy is trying to kill this girl in his house. He's like chasing her through a maze, and I was like, that sounds like my music.
That sounds like Devil.
Yeah, I was like, no, at first I thought, yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm like, oh wait, shit, I recorded that.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, oh, that's sweet. I didn't even know that I got placed in Dexter. So I was like,
So, like, what would you say is one of like your greatest accomplishments as a band together? I know you guys have been doing a lot, like the past 10 years.
Well, I think keeping it together for 10 years is quite an accomplishment.
Okay.
I mean, most bands, I remember reading this book about the music industry when I first started running DevilDriver, and they said the average band releases 1.5 records on average. You know, so the fact that we're going to do our 6th record very soon, I think is very cool. Another big accomplishment is playing bass tape down, I think. You know, just having 70,000 people out there watching it play. Absolutely mind-blowing.
I'm a fan. I've seen you guys several times over the past 5 years, and I always think that you guys have really pulled like a large amount of the crowd a lot of the time, so I think that's like awesome. And you are at the 10-year mark here.
It's coming up, yeah.
I think.
Not for me though. I joined the band right before, so I got a little while to go until I'm at my 10-year mark, but getting there.
So are you looking forward to the next tour coming up in the UK? Is that going to be something
That's
you're
going to
excited
be cool, man. You know, it's, Europe can be kind of a pain because, the buses aren't as nice, you cell phone bills, language barriers, currency, all that bullshit, but, yeah, it's cool that we're going to go headlining with Town Corpse. I mean, I first discovered them watching Ace Ventura when I was in middle school.
Did I just said that earlier today. I was like, what was that band that was in Ace Ventura that Jim Carrey really liked?
I didn't really have any friends that were into heavy metal when I was in high school. I had a few, so I was like, all my friends were into punk rock, Operation Ivy and Rancid, and
Why are they your friends?
Closest thing I could get to metal back then.
I'm joking.
But so I had no one to really, it was me by myself trying to find something like, listening to or watching Headbangers Ball and what was ever on TV. There was no internet, and I remember watching that. I was watching it at home by myself, and I just put it on pause after I saw that. Went fast forward to the credits. Found out who the band was.
Is that?
And there was a Tower Records right down the street from my house, so I got my skateboard. I went down there and bought the Bleeding, and I was bummed out because they were playing Hammer Smash Face, which is on Tomb of the Mutilated. And so I didn't have that song, so that was the next record I bought. But I've never heard death metal.
Yeah, and now you're playing with them, right?
Yeah, so you know, it was
Weird.
cool. I never thought
Yeah.
that we'd be doing a co-headliner with them
I know.
in Europe.
I was just gonna ask you guys about that, like, you know, what's that gonna look like for you guys? I think it's gonna be.
I think it's gonna be interesting. I mean, you know, metal fans are, you know, especially death metal fans are pretty loyal to their roots. So I'm curious to see how they're going to perceive DevilDriver out there. But we do fairly well out in Europe, especially the UK on our own. So it should be fun.
You guys have a pretty large fan base, I think. Just from what I've seen here in the States, like, you know, I've seen you guys a couple times, like I said, and it was.
It's better over here.
You think?
Yeah, definitely. I think for every metal band it is.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I should move. I don't know. I'm in the wrong spot, maybe. I don't know. But speaking of like your fan base, have you guys had any weird altercations with any of your fans ever? Like, I know they can get pretty crazy. I remember this one time I saw you, and there was this guy like just in the middle of the pit, just being like completely weird, and like I don't know, just.
What city was this in?
This was in Baltimore, I think. Like it was.
What was he doing?
Bizarre. He was like praying to the band or something. Like it was some kind of weird, whatever. But
Dude, my eyesight's pretty bad, and I don't wear contacts or anything. So
yeah, I remember Des was like, somebody punched this guy in the face because he's just being so obnoxious.
Well, I mean, there was one time we just played the same venue with Guar. It was, what's the city where they filmed Purple Rain?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis. There we go. Thank you.
Sorry.
We're playing that club that actually filmed some scenes of Purple Rain, and there was a guy just doing this. We were opening up for Opeth, and Opeth fans were just very. We're here to see Opeth and nobody else. And Des started yelling at him through the PA, and I was just kind of like, dude, don't let him win, you know. And then we're all changing on the bus, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna buy him a beer. And then, you know, halfway in, I'll let him know that I'm a DevilDriver or whatever.
Right.
And I couldn't find him, but our
yeah.
drummer actually did find him. And he went and I think he bought him a beer and had a conversation with him on, you know, pretty soon. He's like, what band are you playing? I was like, I play drums in DevilDriver right now. And the guy was just kind of like, oh, shit.
He's pretty menacing, too.
Yeah, and I don't remember exactly what Brooklyn said to him, but he definitely put him in his place and made him feel like an idiot afterwards. It's like, dude, if you don't like the band, go to the bar, have a beer,
and
relax.
Wait.
You know,
Absolutely.
What is this gonna do?
I know.
I never did that to bands I didn't like when I was a kid.
I think it was something similar to that. It was something like weird. He was the guy that I saw. But I remember like Des pointed it out right away. I was like,
we don't really get that very much anymore. It was more toward the beginning. You know, a lot of people in, you know, the whatever kind of metal you want to group us into. You know, we're in the new metal scene, and you know it was Des being in Cold Chamber, you know, and him kind of going into a much heavier band. Some people thought, you know, it was like it was false metal, you know, it wasn't true. But that was more in the beginning. We didn't really get that anymore. Took that away.
I think you guys really do a really great job of like espousing like your sort of overall like message as a band together, or maybe like personal vendettas like that you want to espouse like a great like a positive influence like on your fans, like not to be like nihilistic, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, as far as the message goes of the band, you know, honestly, I don't really have anything to do with that. As far as unless it's instrumentally, you know, Des writes all the lyrics, and every now and then he'll come to us for advice. Like on this record, him and Berkman have really been sitting in the back a lot, working on lyrics together. But yeah, I mean, you know, Des writes a lot about, you know, stand up for what you believe in, and, you know, be motivated. And if you want something, go out there and get it. You know.
Yeah, I like that mantra. Is yours sort of similar, or do you go?
Yeah, definitely. You know, just I don't believe in being lazy, and if you want something bad enough, you know, just keep on working at it until it comes.
Excellent.
You know, I've been wanting to play guitar in a heavy metal band since I was 6 years old. And I've been able to do it for a living. I mean, I'm not making millions of dollars like I thought I would be, but you know, that's to make a living from playing guitar. I'm stoked.
That's the most important thing, though, I think. So, yeah, you always be authentic in that way. And I think it definitely shows, like, in your music and everything else.
I mean, who knows? Maybe if we were a band in the early '90s and we were making a lot more money, you know, maybe it would have gone to our heads, and we probably would have all bought houses out in California, and now they'll all be worth nothing because the real estate market's out there. So it's like, you know, sometimes everything happens for a reason, maybe. And, you know, maybe you know, the lack of, you know, selling a million records has kept us humble and kept us together. Where a lot of bands, you know, we throw a lot of money in there, it goes their head, people are doing drugs. buying fancy cars and just throwing their money down the toilet. We're not in a position
Yeah.
that we can do
I
that.
never really saw that from you guys ever. It's kind of like, wow.
Well, I don't think any bands,
Yeah.
unless you're like Nickelback or,
Yeah,
you know,
let's not talk about them.
but, you know, yeah, there's not a whole lot of money out there these days.
So you're looking forward to this next tour, and anything you would like to see, like any short-term goals from you guys that you're interested in?
Right now, I'm just focusing on the next record. The fact that we're even going to Europe in February hasn't even really crossed my mind.
Yeah.
You know, I just want to get the record done and over. We've been working on it for so long.
Yeah.
So getting to that point, like, oh my God, please just record it. You know, I just want to.
Just want to get it done.
It's not so much that I want to get it done. I just want to get it started.
Yeah.
You know, and just kind of get the ball rolling. But I love being in the studio. I think it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, you know, good luck with everything in your future, and good luck on the tour, Mike.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.